Whether you're looking for a Chevy car, truck, or SUV, go see my friends at Apple Chevy in Tinley Park. With over 500 new and used vehicles in stock, they have what you're looking for and at the lowest price possible. Go to applechevy.com. It is the Rokon Show with Anna DeBlancis right here on 720 WGN. Amy Guth in for Anna this week. And I got a pair of tickets I'm giving away before, you know what, even before 5 o'clock. Please remind me of this. Before 5 o'clock, pair of tickets to Stanley Cup champion Chicago Blackhawks Training Camp Festival United Center on September 21st, courtesy of DeVry University, Keller Graduate School of Management. Learn to unlock the leader inside you and get Keller MBA. And we're going to be at that festival, broadcasting live as we are from the opening game and all the rest of the games throughout the season, many of the other games throughout the season. So stay tuned for that. I got a pair of tickets before 5 o'clock. All right, here they are. My television family has arrived. You've got Ryan Chiaverini from the Windy City Live. You've got Val Warner from the Windy City Live. And they are just started on Tuesday, our 5th season on the air, did we not?
Isn't that crazy? Season 5. Remember how nervous we were before the first show and wondering if we were going to be here in season 2?
We were wondering if we were going to be there in week 2.
Yeah.
Because, you had the Brandmeier thing happen once here where a TV show went 1 week on the air and then just disappeared.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember, I love Paul Reiser. Remember they made a big push for him to come back. He did 2 episodes and he was done. Paul Reiser. So it's like we feel incredibly lucky to be where we're at, right?
It's Chicago. It's these fans, the viewers. They are so loyal. We appreciate them, and we're just tickled pink to be still alive in season 5.
Yeah. Somehow that's become our slogan.
I know.
We said it as a joke, but now
it
sticks.
It works though.
Yeah.
We are still alive. We're very much alive.
I was going to try this. Season 5 ain't no jive. And then I thought,
no. And that show opener was so fun yesterday with the running around and the tuxedo and the sunglasses, and it was very cool.
Yeah, Val and G were giving it to me because for one, I'm a big Tom Cruise fan, for one, and every guy wants to dress up like Tom Cruise or like a James Bond and jump onto helicopters. Mm-hmm. I did that scene where we're running across the tarmac like 3 times full speed. Val's looking at me like I was crazy. She's like, we could speed this up.
Right. They can do all of that in editing, but he insisted on doing it.
And it does his own stunts.
Yes.
Tom Cruise in this most recent edition of Mission Impossible hung on the outside of that airplane.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I mean, when you see that in the movie.
And did more than 1 take.
Yeah, they did like 10 takes of that.
Right. That plane took off 10 times with him strapped to the side of it. Like
Remember him
like
talking
toilet paper
about
on
how
your
he
shoe.
was freezing too doing that, but he didn't tell anybody while he was actually filming that. He waited till afterwards to tell them, okay, I was really, really cold and this happened to me. They're like, why didn't you tell us?
Right. We were going to do that. We were going to do that yesterday. We just didn't have the straps to put me on the side of the helicopter. The bungee cords weren't holding me.
I love how freezing was his complaint.
Yeah.
All of the things right there, freezing.
Well, he's a slight man. I think he probably gets a chill. He's a slight man. He's close to 60. He probably gets a chill very quickly. Okay, so in these 5 years, in these past 5 years, and by the way, we got the 1,000th episode coming up next week.
Yes.
Too.
September 18th,
September 18th, Friday the 18th.
Right. We're doing 1,000 surprises for Chicagoans. So we've been working on that. We actually just came back from, we were at Lurie's Hospital, Children's Hospital today, doing some surprises that we're going to show you on the air. But 1,000 surprises, which we've been thinking and racking our brain on who's the most deserving, who can we give back to the most, who deserves it. So we've
actually exceeded it. It's more than 1,000. It may be like closer to 2,000 surprises that we're going to do over the course of next week. So the big shebang will be next Friday.
Right.
You should watch starting on Monday for sure.
The big shebang, next Thursday.
Or tomorrow. I mean, Aaron Andrews and Sean Wayans are in studio.
Friday.
Well, that's but we're talking about the 1,000 stuff.
Gotcha.
So Friday's 1,000 show. That's the one. Friday is
just
the one
watch every day. Don't change the channel ever in your life.
Should I show up? I don't even know what to do anymore. All right, so let me ask you this question. Of these 5 years and these 4 full seasons, and it is pretty wild. I mean, it's been a very, as we talked about, very wild run, and I think in a lot of ways unprecedented in Chicago television. With the obviously, there's Oprah. We must remember that. But local daytime television that is just about local. It's not about a network show. It's not about going and being anything else. And even though people always ask, well, when are you guys going into syndication? That's really never that's never in anybody's mind, right? It was never in either of your minds or my mind or anything about it, because you want to appeal. This is about Chicago.
Right.
Right.
And Chicagoans are very loyal. If you know, you know that, Ro. I mean, look how many years you've been on the air. But I mean, they're so. Don't say it. Don't say it, Ryan Cheverini. But that's, I think, probably the number one thing you hear from people, and I'm sure both of you can attest to this, is when you're out and about, they appreciate that you're doing things that represent where they're from. And I'm always making sure that we extend it just a wee bit to cover Northwest Indiana and the suburbs, because, I call these two the city slickers, but I'm representing all the burbs, southwest, northern suburbs. But we got to make sure that we get the Chicagoland area in there.
Suburbs represent. Yeah, no, I think that people ask a lot, why do you think the show's been successful? And it's because it's resonated with Chicagoans who want to see their city on TV. We want to showcase.
They want to see themselves.
Right. We have so much to offer in this city, and the fact that we're bringing in not only people making a difference in the community, but also the celebrities that come through here. People go, wow, I didn't realize, this person is from, the suburbs of Chicago, or D. Wade came in and did an hour. Vince Vaughn came in and did an hour. It's cool for people to see their own, represented on TV. And I've talked to a lot of people around the country that wish that their city had a show like ours, and there's just not. It's very, very rare to have a show like this.
Well, it's funny that you mention that, because you can go to a lot of New York and LA have shows kind of like this, but there are some other markets that have shows that are a little bit more. Let's see, that's the word I can describe. But for example, I think it was Minnesota that we had the bet with, the guys up in Minnesota.
Yeah, Twin Cities Live,
Twin Cities Live, which is a similar kind of concept. When you see tape of Twin Cities Live, it's got a very different kind of feel. It's got there's a Ron Burgundy-esque nature to those kinds of shows. And I think what's interesting about Windy City Live, and specifically, for all the people that, were instrumental in building that, coming up with the idea and building that show into what it is, and almost everybody is still there from that original team. It's pretty amazing to think about how one of the pitches to celebrities all the time is, hey, this is not Good Morning Twin Cities. This is not that. This is when you go there, you're going to see it's a very different deal.
It looks like a national show with the local feel.
Right.
I mean, we put on a national show, but it's just all about us. It's local.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that the celebrities are always blown away by the audience. The audiences that come in, like remember Will Ferrell, or a lot of these celebrities, they can't believe how energetic the audience is, and it makes them, I think, light up a little bit more and kind of open up a little bit more with their stories. And the feel of the interview is different than being in a cold studio, like being in a radio booth with people on Michigan Avenue walking by. I'm kidding, Ro. I'm kidding.
What did he zoned out? He didn't even hear you.
Actually, I do like. This is an amazing place to work, because you get and Amy unfortunately works here on Saturday nights.
You don't get to claim that one. I get it.
Oh, you must really see them.
So I have had people pass out against that window. I've had people flash that window.
Really?
I see it all at that hour.
Men and women?
Usually men.
Really?
And never the men you want to flash you. Not that you want anyone to flash you, but no.
I only did that once too, Amy. Once.
Why do you keep bringing it up, dude?
Hold on, let me go down and find this thing first.
Oh, you're right. You don't have to look far.
There's a couple times around the weekend of T-Box. That was a special kind of crazy.
Oh, right.
So there was like a Santa and a drunk reindeer leaning against the glass, breaking up. That was a good one too.
Oh, really?
Oh, what happens when Santa breaks up with his reindeer? That's
bad.
The
reindeer cries reindeer tears in her makeup, and her little red nose smears all over her face.
Oh no! Oh no! And what is and Santa's like, listen, I got Mrs. Claus at home. If she ever finds out about this, we're all dead, and Christmas is canceled forever.
He was kind of, I met this elf. See, it was that kind of deal. Yeah.
All right, stand by. We'll come right back. Yes, indeed, it is the real Val Warner and Ryan Cheverini in studio with us, Windy City Live, which just debuted its 5th season on Tuesday, and then next Friday is the 1,000th episode with 1,000 surprises for Chicago. They put me through host chat every day, and they throw all kinds of crap at me. I'm going to throw something back at them coming up, but first... Check in with Judy Pilak in the WGN Newsroom. We got a breaking story. We've been kind of anticipating a breaking development here out of Fox Lake, as we mentioned at the very top of the show, and this appears to at least be part of it.
Right, so we are now hearing that the police lieutenant who was killed on September 1st, Lieutenant Glinowitz, did die of a single devastating gunshot wound. Now, the coroner is not, however, saying where on the body that wound was. And, police have been very reluctant to release any autopsy details. So this is kind of the first thing we've gotten in quite a while here. As you know, that his death did prompt a large-scale manhunt that apparently is still underway for 3 suspicious suspects that the lieutenant said he had been chasing right before he was shot. Now, this is an interesting quote here from the Lake County coroner. He says, right now, all unnatural deaths are up for suggestion. That means homicide, suicide, accident, and undetermined. Right now, he says he cannot give a manner of death because he doesn't know what happened in terms of where the bullet came from.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That is something.
It's kind of a left turn in this whole investigation.
So, single gunshot wound, and we don't seem to know. And we also don't seem to have much more detail about whether or not there's a search going on for 3 suspects, right?
Right. We haven't had an update in a few days, I believe. I'm trying to think if we had one 2 days ago, maybe. It doesn't matter because the past several updates have really released no new information.
Yeah.
On anything.
Well, this is one of the problems that they've had there is that this is all leading to speculation. Is that the media, the nature of media is it abhors a vacuum, and that there needs to be some kind of level of detail here that feeds, for lack of a better term, the beast here, and so then speculation starts to become rampant. And now this is just adding to it because they're giving us just this little bit of detail. Single gunshot wound. You just hope this isn't a situation where they're doing the whole, they don't want to tell us exactly what happened, but they want to give us breadcrumbs along the way. Sort of like, it says Grandma died. Well, Grandma went up on the roof and fell off the roof, that whole thing.
Yeah.
So that appears to be what at least how they're proceeding in Fox Lake and in Lake County.
Right. I mean, their point of view is, we have an ongoing investigation here. We can't give out all the evidence, of course. On the other hand, the very lack of evidence is feeding this machine, as you say. And I mean, there are, no sign of these 3 suspects. There were some questions right from the beginning.
Right.
A lot of people saying that something didn't add up in this case.
All right. More details on that coming up in the news at 5 o'clock right here, about 5 minutes away. All right. Ryan Chiaverini and Val Warner from Windy City Live are in studio with us. I was going to take you all the way to, I'm going to make me go through your paces a couple times a week, right, on the show, and I was going to make you go through my paces, and now that just happened, so I'm just going to have to leave you with this. Tomorrow, I want you to ask this question. I don't think I'm going to be there tomorrow, so you're going to do this. How does a woman have a multiple-year affair with a man and then find out it's her best friend from next door who's a woman?
Wait. Say that again?
How does a woman have a multiple-year affair with a man?
I thought it was an affair. That makes it sound more scandalous than it was.
Yeah, well, a love affair.
Okay.
Right?
They were dating for 2 years.
Yes, for dating for 2 years and having, the full nuptials and all of that. How does that happen? And she doesn't realize that the person she's actually having the full nuptials with is her best friend from across the street who's a woman.
What?
She has to realize that.
Nope. Doesn't realize it.
This is made up.
Till she takes the blindfold off. Discuss amongst yourself tomorrow.
Oh, come on.
That's what you're going to do right there.
Come on.
All right, the 1,000th episode next Friday, September 18th. Don't miss it. 1,000. It's 1,000 surprises.
It's us saying thank you to Chicago for keeping us on the air and for just showing your support and love for Windy City Live. We want to thank you, and that's how we're going to do it. 1,000 surprises next week.